safety app that I'm starting, I have to be thinking about the people that are going to use it. Initially, people need information. They need to know how we work, and they also need to know how to pay if they want to pay, or how many people, or is there an existing session that I can join, etc. So I have a Word document which details all of that information. I'm then going to go into the app, upload the document, and ask it to create an app that allows the user to find information. And what I will do is I will tell it that all of the main headings need to be a button that somebody can press to open and reveal information. Maybe ask the app to create a video or add it to my YouTube and give the URL for each one of those videos. And I can add a paywall, I could add the Stripe URL where I'd create, oh, it's gone again. Yeah, where I'd create, there you go, where I would create the Stripe link where I tell it how much it is, give some description, details on the link. And then when I finalize the link, I then give the link to my AI agent. And then the agent will put it within the code and will allow certain features activated. So it will activate a payment only when the user presses button. You can say what you want on that button, what color you want the button to be, what color you want the text to be. And this is why having a color palette upfront is really important. Now, how do we save credits? Well, when you tell the AI app what to do, it goes ahead, it creates something. It may not use the right color. It may have some incorrect information. And it's not like a Canva or a WordPress site or GoDaddy or something like that, where you can actually go in and edit information. You can edit the code, but you need to know what you're doing. So I always err on the side of caution. Have a Word document where you detail everything. You have your color palette, you have the buttons. What do you want the buttons to say? You could even have hand drawn, upload it to the AI agent, and the agent look at that information and create based on that, not what it thinks should happen, because it may hallucinate and give incorrect information. For instance, I decided to live.co.uk, which is my site. I am going to be changing it, but what it's done is it's created an app that has nothing to do with what is on the site. It's seen certain words and made a decision as to what it thinks I'm trying to sell or portray. When you do that, you end up using more. I'm getting this computer to work. Yes. You end up using more AI credits than you planned. So this is where planning comes in. This is where it reduces the number of AI credits that are used. And this is where you ensure that whatever you want to do, the AI agent will create that, not what it thinks should happen. So if I go back to my base 44, done, let's wait for it to come up. So what it'll do, now I created, I've created a few, which is why it's asking me to upload, to upgrade, sorry. but you will get a prompt where it will ask you what will you type the app that you want to create, but you don't necessarily want to create an app with just a prompt, because what's going to happen is you will only get what it thinks you are looking for, and then you'll spend a lot of time correcting, recoding, and this is where we talk about AI app, being bulky. I've forgotten the word, a bloated coding, and that's what you want to avoid. So the only way to reduce that is to ensure you have something like a Word document. I don't know if you could see it there. Let me share that screen. So I've got a screen here. Well, I show window. Here we go. So here's my Word document. So here I'm saying what the company does, what regulations, how we work, etc., etc. Benefit by having this document, getting the AI agent to read it, it's going to put the information in that document, not what it thinks should go there. And this is one of the ways that you secure having the right coding. Now, I don't know if you've seen a lot of companies going around saying they'll audit your code, and they'll correct your code. They'll where there are issues, they will fix them. Now, this is why many people have the issues, because they just type I don't know, a 20-word prompt and think that voila, you get a full app, you get a design of something, but there may be words you have to correct, there may be sentences that are not right, there's a context or meaning, the colors are not in the right orders, and you end up using more and more AI credits, and this is where you have to sign up to upgrade to bigger and bigger plans. So one of the MVP strategies I always suggest is that you slimline what you're trying to create by doing it in Word first, have a plan, and with that plan, identify what you want it to look like. Oops, sorry. What you want it to look like, and include your color palette. Give a suggestion with a drawing of where you want these buttons placed and what wording you want on the buttons. You need to write everything down. Usually there's a data table that you give it, and it takes that data table, because how an app works is by using data. And even if it creates its own app for you based on a prompt, it's going a data structure, data tables that it will use. And if the data is incorrect, it will keep being incorrect throughout all of your developments, which is why it's really important that you plan. Perfect planning prevents a pathetic performance. So if you have any questions, now's time to, it's a live chat. Here's the time to put your questions in, questions only, so that I can ask them. Now, I know this is going to take a bit of time for people to see what is going on here, but if you are looking at this particular video, sometime after the presentation, then I suggest that you still leave comments, because then I can make a comment on it, I can make a correction, I can give you some guidance. But as far as planning your presentation, not your presentation, your app development goes, it is most crucial that you do that to ensure that you get the results you are looking for, and not just what AI decides it should do. So here is one that I've created. This is one I created earlier. So I'll see if I can access it now. So I have a few, and please forgive me if the computer is a bit slow because I've got so many things on this laptop. So if I type anything in there, I could say, let me just see if it works. Right. So I've already copied everything from that file. Let's just wait, sorry. Machine is reading, it's taking its time. So I'm going to ask it to create an app. Hold on. I'm using an older computer. I'm so sorry. So this is where we have to go. So agent to create an app based on the information provided and the issue is trying to take notes. So I'm asking it to create an app based on the information I will provide and to have a button for each heading that will allow the user to see more information, which will break down the information into smaller parts to make it easier for the user to access the information. I wouldn't use all those words, but it's basically what I'm trying to tell it to do. And hold on. Right, so these are three that I created before. So here we go. Hold on, model. So it's in auto mode. Okay, the reason why it won't let me type anything is I need to select a plan. I've selected a plan, I can't create anymore. This is the other thing with using free. So let me come out of this. Let me stop sharing. Let me pick one that I haven't used yet. Something like Lovable. Let's see how they work. Uh, yeah, before I continue, so I would copy and paste all of that, or I can just add, click on the plus, add the file, and it will create the app for me. Okay, today is not a good day in terms of technology. Um, I am trying to, let me see, Lovable. Let's go to Lovable. AI app builder. Okay, there we go. So this is your vibe coding. Okay. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let's see how this can work. Yeah. Share screen. AI. Now, another thing people don't factor into building is the amount of time it takes for to start, stop, start, stop. So please create a landing page for interested prospects who would like to study food safety level 2 and level 3 with my company ID to live. Use food inspection expert, and each heading needs to be a button. Provide a CTA that takes the user to a Stripe to a consultation at this URL. So I'm going to use my here is the information. Let's see, can I do it? I've given it the information. Now I'm going to ask it to build a tool. Continue with Google. Create a free account. So it was in that web. So this is. I'm going to make sure this is working first. Let's just go in. So I'm just protecting my data. Okay. So again. A longer session than I normally have. There we go. So now I'm going to create this app. So I've given it all the information. I've told them that the button is going to take them to a consultation. I don't want them to buy because I want to have a conversation first, qualify my leads. So this is what I will do. So I want to enable notifications. So if it needs to notify me anything, it can do so. So that information to my phone. So here you can see in real time, you can see the app thinking. And this is what I say about app credits. It's thinking in time. Yeah, can you see? It's thinking. So I'm seeing some of you already on Substack. So can you see the amount of time it's taking? So when people have stated that you vibe code like a website, it's not necessarily the case. You can get something that's working, not working well, and doesn't necessarily run. It's all connected. Okay, let me just So I'm a see. There you go. Here it is. So all the information I given it, it provided this. See? And the only thing that is not is there you go. Book your free consultation. So I might tell it to take this off of the screen or leave it there because for people to pay, but to get information. So how can we access it? What is force? Blah, blah, blah. So all this core information is now in this landing built by the app. Now over time, I can start amending the colors. I might change the fonts around a bit. But right now, so it's book the free consultation or explore courses. Perfect. It's exactly what I need it to do. I don't need it to do anything more until I get to a point where I have it more of a website about me, etc., or people actually paying and booking. I actually have the courses somewhere else on thinkific.com, and when I add the URL, people can click and go straight to the Thinkific and do the courses without me. Yeah, 24 hours without me. So this will provide information to it's a board of governors, etc. They want to know more information. So I thought, let me just create. So here you are, see me create it live. Product that is easy to provide information about color palette, uh, very basic information that is needed. Core. Once core is working and it looks right, you can start adding to that. But you've got to make sure it's right. Your MVP is right, right out the gate. Yeah. So thank you for your time. I know you may join after or you may watch this, but do connect with me because I may be able to help you. Okay, you can get this all by yourself, but then there's other aspects and the actual editing of coding you may want to do, and that's where we can have a conversation. Or you might just want me to help build it out for you or with you. I usually don't implement, but I don't do it for you because then there becomes fees for keeping it running and different plans, and we're not doing that. I'm here to implement with you. So thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m.